All right, so the past couple videos, been pretty positive in terms of, off-season outlooks. Start at the top of the East, so it makes sense that, last year's best teams would probably be looking pretty good going into the next season. But now, as we've gone to the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference and the Chicago Bulls, a little more uncertainty, a lot of unanswered questions now going into next year. They answered a big one going into the offseason with Zach LaVine, bringing him back on a massive deal. That got a little sketchy there for a second. It seemed like maybe test the open market. Who knows what was going to happen, blah, blah, blah. So we have LaVine. He's coming back. DeMar's coming back. Vucevic. The core, Patrick Williams now hopefully will be able to play a full healthy season. But my biggest question, and I think really what will determine kind of the trajectory of these Chicago Bulls, is going to be the health and play of Lonzo Ball. Because I think, he was out for the majority of last year. We forget, what he can do when he's shooting the ball well from three, how he can facilitate, especially on a team with so many offensive weapons, and, defensively what he brings at the point of attack. If you have a healthy Lonzo Ball, I think the Bulls are in the discussion for, mid-tier Eastern Conference. Could see him go as high as maybe 3 or 4. But, if Lonzo's, on the bench, on the sidelines, again for the majority of the season, it's really hard to see this team kind of repeat the relative success they had. DeMar DeRozan, I think, can at least plateau, maybe reach the same heights he reached this past year. Obviously an odd kind of career line for him in terms of kind of peaking at his age now. I think that, a lot of people have cast doubt on whether that's repeatable. I think it is, more or less. I don't see any reason why to think it's not, in terms of just his environment's the same. Other than if you think like luck or something like that, I don't think that's true. I think his playmaking and scoring should still be there going into this year. And then maybe a healthy Patrick Williams makes a big difference. We'll have to see. But, relatively quiet on the free agency market. Brought in Andre Drummond, brought in Goran Dragic, who could potentially, most likely be kind of Lonzo Ball insurance. From what we're hearing now, it's a little concerning. It doesn't seem like Lonzo's like a lock to start first game of the year. So depending on his recovery, what does that mean maybe for Coby White, who's been floated a lot as kind of, someone on the trading block? And is this a team that can upgrade enough to get into that top tier of contenders? Can you try and get Vucevic and Coby White and some kind of package to upgrade there? Maybe, probably not though. And then they have the depth in terms of, Alex Caruso, Tony Bradley, Derrick Jones Jr. they brought back. So they're not really lacking in terms of just backups to fill in and whatnot. But it's really going to be a matter of, how many games can this team win without Lonzo Ball. And obviously, Caruso would do, a valiant job at filling in, just not the same caliber of player. So in Chicago, you have to be a little uneasy, cautiously optimistic, I would say. You also bring in Terry, who they drafted 18th out of Arizona, high energy guy. Kind of the consensus around him is that he didn't really get the chance to shine too much in college, but in the NBA in a particular role might be able to be, that kind of defensive potential kind of high energy guy. We'll see what kind of role he carves for himself going forward. And so, the East is tough because you have now Chicago came in 6th. You figure Cleveland's probably going to be in that area. Charlotte, if the Knicks land Donovan Mitchell, what does that mean for the kind of Eastern Conference standings? And it's just, there's not going to be a lot of easy games. You look at, Detroit got better, Orlando got better, Indiana, we'll see, and we're obviously going to go through those teams in their own offseason outlooks. But, Brooklyn is, again, huge mystery, Charlotte. So, the Bulls should be in the mix. It's just a matter of, are we content with being in the kind of 4 to 10 range, or are we going to try and like make some kind of big swing and vault ourselves into contenders? And even, is there any possible way to do that at this point? The kind of star market has, not the grocery store, but the market for stars in the NBA has been totally, put on its head because of the Rudy Gobert thing. So it's not the best time to trade for a star. The guys they would look at trying to upgrade, and DeMar, Vucevic probably wouldn't be enough. So Bulls got to stay with what they got, hope everyone's healthy, and, make a run at it. I feel like that's kind of all you can do at this point. See if they can build on what they did last year. Hopefully DeMar repeats his success. Zach LaVine, same thing. Would love to get more out of Vucevic scoring the ball. Obviously, someone kind of has to take a backseat a little bit. It was him. I don't think he shot the ball as well as he previously has. So, if we get a more kind of vintage all-star season out of him, that could make a big difference. But listen, a lot of uncertainties in Chicago right now. But I think it's equally likely to work out or just to kind of repeat itself. Let me know what you think, because there is a lot of moving pieces in Chicago. See where do you have them in the Eastern Conference in terms of what tier are they in. Love to hear what you have to say. But that's it for me for now. Take care of yourselves. Take it easy, and I'll see you next time.